Hey, hey, how is everyone? Let's do this. Let's talk about closing people. One of my favorite topics. A lot of people ask if there is a secret sauce. And I'm going to tell you some. I don't think it's a secret. It's more about doing it. For those of you that do not know me, I am Brittany Metke. I am a Ruby National Executive with Color Street. And I am super excited to be here, super honored and privileged that I was asked. So we're going to go right into it. So a lot of times we have people on the fence, right? We have people that we call them leads, right? So if you're here, you are selling, you've got your sales, and now you want to grow a team. So if you're looking to grow those teams, kind of get those fence sitters to the other side, this is going to be a training for you. A lot of times we have so many people that we're like, oh, how do you get them on? How do you get them on? And I'm just going to tell you a few of the things that work for me. And I want to preface it by saying that I've never really considered myself a rock star recruiter or enroller at all, right? Because I definitely have had some down time, some down months. It was slow. It took me about 5 months to get my first person ever to sign up. And then I would kind of go from like 0 people, maybe signing up 1 or 2 there. And then I would have like some months where I would do like 5 or 6. And I definitely have learned to tweak some things, but the biggest thing has been being direct, precise, and right to the point. So I'm just going to actually share with you a couple of things that I keep in my mind. It's definitely a mindset thing. It's definitely a verbiage thing, how we word things, our attitude that can get those people from signing up right away, get those maybe. We have the leads. That's a whole different training, how to grow your leads list. But this is going to be the people that you are talking to, your prospects, your active prospects, and how to get them to sign. So my first tip is going to be not being attached to the outcome, because it's just your we're going to hear a lot of no's, right? And when we are scared or when we're nervous or timid and afraid of that word no, that can change the whole like vibe and aura of the conversation. Realizing that people have to say no a lot, and majority of the time it has nothing to do with you, and just not being so attached to the outcome. We have to hear no's to get to the yeses, and just like going for it, right? So I always, when I talk to someone that's a prospect that I've added to my join group, I always speak to them like I'm assuming that they'll say yes. It's a mindset. It's about being confident. It's about having that optimism. So I'm not like, if you join, I'm always like, so when you join, and I will message them and give them like, it's like a sense of urgency too, which I'll talk about later, but it's like, okay, so guess when you sign up, we're going to do this, this, and this. With the Valentine's Day launch, I'm like, when you sign up, we are going to get your launch party started. We can focus on Valentine's. And it's just about always assuming, because when you have that confidence and optimism about the opportunity, they have it. A lot of times when people are kind of on the fence and not like sure, it's definitely a confidence in themselves. So making sure that you believe in them. And a lot of times it's me saying like stuff like, gosh, like I see your feed, I see your following, your circle. I really believe that you can do this. Your work ethic, I know you're busy. Busy people have a way of fitting these things work. Some of my most successful people have. Definitely having like, there's only a few objections or why people aren't sure that they should sign up. And it's always about empathizing with it, but then also offering them a solution and having a story on hand for that objection. So Like for an example, well, my husband doesn't want me to sign up. Having a solution right there, like, there's actually, that's pretty common. They don't want you to sign up, they're afraid. But let me tell you, what if we could show you a way to where it wouldn't take time from your family, to where you wouldn't be like losing a lot of money, so your husband wouldn't feel that way. Or a lot of times people are like, I don't have enough time. Okay, I totally get that. When I signed up, I didn't have enough time either. But what I found is that my team, my company, whatever you want to say, offers these trainings that can teach you to work your business on the time that you're already scrolling on Facebook anyways. Would that sound like something that you'd want to learn a little bit about? Always having a solution to their objection, and just empathizing with it. But what I found the most is like when I can pull out a story of someone that has overcame the objection, like a real-time story, either from myself or from someone on my team or sideline, that has a lot of power. I do. Like, we have an opportunity group, and we have a bunch of different people on all different ranks on the team, and they have shared their own story, like someone that had a full-time job and how they've made it work, someone that has failed multiple times in different companies and how they've made it work. So being able to say like, listen, no, I totally get it. That is such a founded, reason on why you don't want to make it work. But what if I could tell you what sets us apart and what I could help you to go through it? And sometimes just like overcoming that with a solution, you never want to discredit their fear, and like kind of brush it off. You definitely want to relate to it, but being able to offer that's a big deal, and having confidence. Asking a lot of questions and being a really good listener, I think is a big thing. A lot of times when we talk to people about the opportunity, we kind of have like this script, and people's like, Brittany, what are your scripts? I don't have scripts, you guys. Like people are like, well, what do you say? I don't, because it's so individual to the person. And like when you send them like this mass message that has everything they will ever need to know, you will never have a reason to follow up with them again. So always asking open-ended questions. Say you do add them to the opportunity group, or you do send them Mr. Park's video, or you do, being able to just be like, so what did you think about that? Do you have any more questions? Where are you at? I always ask people, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how did that video like impact you? Or, being able to always follow up with them instead of just sending them everything, being able to just reach out to them when we have another launch or another big thing, which we constantly do, whether it's from the company or your team. We need to show that excitement and just always have a reason to follow up with them, touch base with them, see how they're doing. Another tip is using your upline or just another third party. Like I said about using stories. If you have an upline, they also benefit if you have someone on the fence. Like, so like for people that I sign up, like, or anyone, like they, know that I will help them in any way, like if they want to add me in a chat. But there's something psychological about that third party like validation that like I can't even explain. And I mean, you guys know, you've seen it, like you may be talking about something and like your friends and family kind of brush it off, but then like if someone else like says it, then they're like, oh, and you're like, oh my God, I've been saying that forever. Having that third person like just to validate it, whether it's in a chat, a phone call, in person. I really do feel like the in-person stuff, and I really do feel like I can get a lot of people to close in person if they just give me the chance, and that's about being direct. And then I, do just texting back and forth because they see the confidence. And like those regionals, like if you have a chance to bring someone to regional, they feel it in the room. They see the supports there. If you can get your sponsor in a chat, they see that they don't only have you, they have someone else, or not even your sponsor, just them having to know that someone else will be there for them, just maybe the extra thing they need. When going back to asking questions is another thing. But asking questions where yes is going to be the answer. It's also kind of a psychological thing. Like, so what are your goals? Like, do you like want to retire? Do you want to go debt free? Would you like to take more vacations? Asking those questions that the answer is yes. There's something about it. Like when they get used to saying yes to those questions, obviously they're going to eventually, you know, lead yes to the opportunity. Kind of like going from there. This is kind of simple, but also hard. Ask. Be very, very direct. Now that you've seen, like when I add someone, now that you've seen what we offer, now that you've seen what we do, now that you see that you can earn some extra income in a you know, little time online, that you don't have to invest a lot, let's get you on board today. And so that, and you know, by being and asking for for them to sign, like if you're in person, like, and I'll have people like having the website, asking them on the phone, let's get you on board. Let's start you right now. And just going with that confidence. Like I've had a lot of people just, because in the past, those months that I wasn't signing a lot of people, I just didn't ask. I was kind of beating around the bush. I expected them to come to me when they were ready. And the difference is from the last few months is, like say I had people in December. This month I've enrolled 4 people that had told me in December to wait till after the year. So guess what? I waited for the New Year holiday to be over and I'm like, okay, it's the new year. Let's do this thing. And then, you know, it just being direct. And if they're like, no, it's not a right time, that's when you keep asking questions. And you got to kind of like guide them. Like, okay, so tell me why right now is not a right time. Is it a money thing? You know, and then you can kind of overcome like those different objections and go back to that other tip. But just asking, being really direct, is where I found the most success. Now, is it easy? No, like I feel cringy and nervous sometimes. I have to pump myself up and talk myself into it. Like I'll be like, okay, like we did something on my team where we like went for no. Like we did stuff that we asked people, whether it was like the host or, you know, someone that we were scared to talk to, straight up just asking them. I mean, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but I've had people that I was afraid to ask. I was saying no for them. I never offered them the opportunity because I said no for them in my head, that they were too busy, that this was kind of silly for them, and my numbers of enrolling got larger the more people that I asked. Are you open to take a look at what I do? People that had nothing to do with, you know, maybe they didn't even know about the product, but where I felt like I could offer them, you know, an opportunity in some type of way. People that were never, you know, may not have ever been in my VIP group. I don't really like, you know, we're Facebook friends, but we, you know, they don't really know about Color Street, but it all came with me just having the, you know, the courage to just ask. And so for the Go for No, it just went as simple as there was someone, you know, just an example that had been like liking my stuff, following me. Like I know she's had success in her own business that has nothing to do with it. And I just said, I was just like, hey, I know you like my stuff. You've been kind of following my opportunity. You know, are you open, you know, my journey, are you open to taking a look at doing what I do? And she said she was open. There was someone else that she liked one of my Instagram posts. I went to her page and I saw she had 20,000 followers. I saw it at night. And like that whole night I was talking about, man, I just, you know, gosh, I should message her. Like I saw that she's open to like different business opportunities in her blog and and but you know, she's probably not going to do it. And I just hyped myself up. And the next morning I like took a deep breath. I messaged. And what did she say? She was like, yeah, I'm always open, you know, and, you know, I sent her out a strip and we've been following up from that. She asked me today, like, is it on her way? Is it on the way? I've said no for so many people in my head for them that I've lost opportunities. I've seen them do other stuff, sign up with other companies, sign up with other stylists. And, you know, I made a promise to myself about 6 months ago that I wasn't going to do that anymore. I wasn't going to say no to people anymore. I wasn't going to use my own fear of rejection or my own being closed-minded to like stop myself. And just being direct and just asking people and then going from there with the other tips as far as closing them, which I told you, but you'll never know without asking. So people are